Valentine, what about you?
I like my fries. They're just very easy to eat. And you can kind of just, while you're driving, even though you probably shouldn't. Yeah, and what else is comfort food? Well, I'm a bit of a foodie. I just like all kinds of food. And if I could, I'd probably just be constantly eating.
You're my type of person because I'm exactly the same. I just wonder why we are so obsessed with comfort food. Why we always choose it? Why is it called comfort food? And is there any healthy options of the fast food in the world? Let's discover it together. And at the moment we are going to listen to the music, which is Jeff Ballard. And we are at the most of Taranaki Foodies here. So I just have a wonderful memory of my favorite comfort food from childhood. So my favorite food was boiled corn, interestingly. I remember those warm days by this Black Sea where we were swimming and having a little bit of a suntan, and old weathered ladies called babushkas walking along the beach.
Babushkas.
Yes, exactly, babushkas. Yeah, and they were carrying very heavy bins full of corn, and you know they always put a very coarse grey salt, which as children we hated because it's grey. We wanted all this refined white thing, but now it's in fashion back. You know, this coarse salt, and there is nothing better than this boiled hot corn with the salt, and I have very fond memories of it. So yeah, thank you for listening for my childhood memories. I just had some information about fast food, historical fast food of the world. So who can guess what was the fast food in Germany? What Germans would eat as the snack on the go? Gordon?
I would suggest it might be dried meat.
Dried meat.
Yeah.
Very South African, I would say, but yeah, maybe dried meat. What do you think?
Oh, I'm not too sure actually.
If you have to grab something from the cupboard, what would you eat?
Me,
Cheese.
cheese. Cheese.
So our next culinary stop is in Germany. It's a home for pretzel, a biscuit with a real twist. Yeah. For a start, it's actually twisted. Yes, its twisted knot became a symbol of bakery guilds in many European countries. And secondly, its taste often excessively strong. Main seasoning is salt, lots of it, and sometimes brown mustard, and sometimes even washing soda. Anything could be seasoning. Any nuts, chocolate, seeds and glaze is much better than the soda, isn't it? Within the Christian church, pretzels were regarded as having religious significance for both ingredients and shape. The knot shape has been claimed to represent hands in prayer. So I think at this particular point we would listen to something nice. And we're back in the studio with Gordon Gower and Valentine Fernandes, Taranaki Foodies. So another interesting fast food I learned about is a product of Spain. Who knows anything about Spanish fast food?
Seafood?
Olives.
Olives,
Oh.
yes, very olive-rich region, and anything with olive oil. So yeah,
Sardines.
sardines, very good. So Spain and all former colonies are basically known for similar food because in modern world is borders and customs and all this taxation systems. In older days it was trade basically. Mediterranean spread by spreading the olive oil and things like that. So and I'm going to talk about many faces of tapas, or tapas as Spanish say. So originally it was a food for parties. It is to be consumed while standing. So don't make yourself too comfortable, just pick up and go and socialize type of thing. Move around. That determines the one bite size and the content. Tapas could be anything. It could be a bowl of olives, as Gordon said. It could be mini hot cheese sandwiches. In fact, tapa, and it is still a small portion of any kind of Spanish food. And in the modern world, of snacking of tapas moved from appetizers into mains, because sometimes you do it in a big thing. And Valentine has a catering company which is called Bzee Beez.
It's just easy to, you know, walk around with rather than having to carry a plate with you and then everything else.
What sort of a wrap is it? Because some regions do corn.
So it's actually
bread or
just
something.
made out of wheat flour, and we have tried it in gluten-free as well. So you can have, like, you know, gluten-free wraps, and then
Delightful.
Delightful. So, how does it taste? Describe.
It's well, it's got some chicken and some vegetables in it, and it's got a mild sort of bite. It's not overly hot. It's definitely Indian or Sri Lankan. You know, those flavours are coming through.
Oh yes,
But,
very spicy. Is
but-
it very spicy?
No, it's not too hot. It's got enough of a bite to know that it's got spice in it.
Yeah.
But it's quite unique. It's very, very, very nice. I could eat.
The whole plate
I
of
could
it.
eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of it.
You have competition.
Yeah.
So Valentine,
Yes.
we know that you are Miss India, New Zealand. So obviously you have Indian ancestry.
Yes.
Is that what inspires you food-wise?
I guess it does. So I'm not the only owner of Bzee Beez, so I've got my two aunts and mum and dad as well. So it's kind of co-owned between us, and we all have our little speciality that kind of, you know, we cook. But it definitely does stem from India and like the Indian spices and flavors that we use in our cooking. Some of our sort of main dishes that a lot of people enjoy is butter chicken, of course.
Which is not really Indian.
Yes,
isn't it?
exactly. But we make it without cream. And samosas, although in saying that, because I make samosas, I just cannot eat another samosa.
Actually, it's real easy to eat because it's all wrapped.
Yes.
You wouldn't drop anything,
No,
and a lot
exactly.
of people don't eat at the parties because they're worried that they make their teeth kind of
Yes.
or the clothes
Yeah.
untidy. So samosas is real easy. So what is the normal filling for samosa?
So we've made it with potatoes, so that's like a vegetarian option, potato and peas, I should say. And then we've also made it with chicken, which is, I guess, you know, people who like meat more. And so, but it depends, I guess, you know, if people want something else, we can, it's always really up to whoever it is.
Onions or fresh onions?
Pickled onions, fresh onions,
Onions.
slowly fried onions.
Caramelized onions
Yeah,
for
with
dessert.
a little bit of chili, maybe some garlic in there. Oh, gorgeous.
Yes.
Important question. Do you still cry when you cut the onions?
Only because I've got to eat them.
That's tears of love, isn't it? Awesome. So, returning back to our information, and we are going to Taiwan. In Taiwan, day or night, the time is always right for a few bites of food. The average person starts the day with a Hokkien, which is fried bread twist, followed by a mid-morning bowl of noodles, and then have a kong yu bing, an onion pancake. Yeah, yes, Gordon. Sometimes it looks like a flatbread, sometimes it's more like a pancake, but similar thing. A couple of cubes of stinky tofu in the afternoon, I don't know. Valentine, do you like tofu?
I've not actually tried tofu. I'm just still on that, it's in that,
Undecided.
undecided sort of whether
There are
I'd like
several
it or not.
varieties of tofu. There is more rubbery, there is a very silky, and interestingly, my son can not even touch the silky one because it has an interesting texture. It's like almost slithering in his
Yeah,
mouth, you think.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not advertising tofu very well today. So dried sausages are also grilled on the streets of Korea and Philippines, and they make excellent snacks. I would like to snack on something like that.
I do have to agree with that.
Yeah. On the street of Taipei, sausage, corn, squid and pork hit the barbecue and sold from the street outlets and carts all over the town. And Korea's specifically love of sausage is plainly seen the entire day long in open-air markets, with outlet owners wait for hungry snackers to choose from varieties, skewered with a stick or just in different way to serve. And there are fillings in sausages in Korea. So usually one would see a snack of sausage-filled pastry or meat pie, as they call it. But it's not uncommon to see a hollow sausage filled with seasoned sticky rice or pickled cabbage, kimchi. And bulgogi is the Korean mainstay. It's translated as a fire meat and certainly seen on the streets a lot. Although it's not a typical fast food because it requires some cooking. Yeah, so it's supposed to be consumed.
I wonder if the Koreans rush in to get the sausages like we do. You know, outside the warehouse they barbecue sausages and people